is the Glass Cannon Network.
It's time to put your top hats and goggles on because this is Haunted City, an actual play show where we play Blades in the Dark, a game by John Harper and Evil Hat Studios, available wherever you buy your tabletop role-playing game books. My name is Jared Logan. I'm originally from West Virginia. I'm about 6 feet in height. Weight hovers around 240 pounds. And, originally I was an actor in a lot of plays growing up. I really enjoyed performing. When I got older, I tried out improv and then eventually found my way to stand-up comedy. Now, do you guys want to hear all this?
Yeah. Love it.
You know what? I should actually introduce these other people because their stories are interesting too. Please welcome Josephine, McAdam, Ross, Bryant, and Salim, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. What up? Well, thanks, Jared, for evoking top hats and goggles right out of the gate, thus presenting the two most evocative totems of steampunk.
Yes. This show was originally going to be called Top Hats and Goggles.
Who knows? Maybe you throw a couple gears on there.
Yeah.
Some cogs and flywheels.
Cogs and flywheels. That's another good title. Actually, I don't know that does Blades seem like totally steampunk to you?
No, not to me.
It doesn't. It's its own thing.
I like how it's very much its own thing, and you really get the sense that because like so much of the world building is done in the book, but so much of it is left to you to kind of color it like your own way with you and your friends, that like I feel like some people could really lean into the kind of like, hey, governor, like steampunk of it. And some people could totally leave that behind.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's great that way. It's like extremely detailed, but also extremely customizable. And you can find it on so many websites where you buy RPG books. Go and get your copy today.
Whatever my next character is will definitely be like flat cap, cogs, gears, goggles, arm garters, barbershop quartet mustache, like full thing.
Yeah, but you have to really grow the mustache.
Okay. Well, as you know, it takes 4 to 6 months.
Does it really? It's a little tough for you to. You had a cool mustache for a while there.
I had a mustache for a while, but it was a labor of, I don't want to say love, but a labor of mid-pandemic insanity.
Yeah. Well, if that's the worst thing that happened to you, you were doing great.
Oh no, that was by no means the worst thing. It was just like one of the few ways we had of actually marking time.
Yeah. Yeah. What my rock bottom during pandemic is that I had one too many scotches and I got really sort of confrontational in an online book club.
Oh.
What was the book?
The book was Recursion by Blake Crouch, which is a time travel novel, and I loved it. And then this other person got on and was like, this was not that great. And I was like, you motherfucker. And I just like, I didn't write motherfucker in the comments of this Facebook group, but I was just writing all these like very angry comments. And then our friend Clinton Trucks, I think he texted me and was like, dude, I think you need to calm down. And I was immediately like, yeah, I'm drunk and the pandemic is affecting me. I'll delete these comments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was everybody else's rock bottom? Okay, easier question. Abu, have you ever grown a mustache?
There we go.
You know what's funny? Like for a while I did this play where I had to play a Chilean sort of bartender. And the director was obsessed with me being like, you have to have a mustache. And I tried to repeatedly say, like, it will look wispy and thin and ridiculous. And she was like, no, you have to grow it. So I think for like opening night, I had the mustache. And she saw the photos from the press night and she was like, maybe you should shave your mustache. I was like, great. So not only did you not listen to me, you've also shamed me because of these press photos that are now probably circulating the internet.
Yeah, so, I'm gonna look them up.
Yeah, it's a bit embarrassing. So I did grow a mustache, and it didn't go very well.
Well,
thanks for bringing that trauma back.
The director should have listened to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Abubakar Salim mustache.
You know your hair. You know your hair. You know your hair better than the director does.
Oh man, it's ridiculous.
I see some photos of you with some stash going on.
Yeah. Can I just say, note, those are edited.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, those are like, I remember those headshots being taken, and I remember being like, damn, that's a thick mustache and beard, like goatee. Damn, I look good in that. And I remember trying to grow it myself and being like, yeah, that's an edited headshot to me.
Photoshop.
Basically, someone just took a Photoshop and just drew on Abu's.
And there's multiple.
Yeah, it's the reverse Henry Cavill thing.
I'm just saying, actors' headshots, man, all edited. Just saying, guys. Just saying.
Yeah. I understand because in a lot of the photos you'll find of me online, my body has been touched up to make it look sort of, really, really kind of sleek and taut. And that's not me, you guys. I employ a team of social media editors to create that effect. I also take a highly addictive drug called Lepazor to maintain weight loss. Unfortunately, it causes chronic diarrhea.
Wait, is it just a very powerful laxative?
Yeah. I feel like it's what they all are in the end,
hold on.
right?
Let me look at the box. Holy shit, it is just a laxative.
Hey, wait, that's its tagline.
Lepazor. It's just a laxative. Josephine, you like a mustache, right? Doesn't your my wife doesn't like a mustache. She's like, get that out of there.
Yeah, I don't enjoy it near my face. Like I don't like, I'm constantly like when he's trying to give me a kiss or anything, I'm very dramatic about it. Like even a kiss on the cheek or what, I'm just like, ow. Because man, it's spiky. It's like just getting little needles jabbed into you as they're like, partner of someone.
You're supposed to like it because it's a man and it's rough.
It hurts. But his facial hair is like immediately back. He'll shave and it's just immediately back. It just doesn't last very long. I've just grown to accept it. I mean, looks wise, I don't have a preference. It looks great no matter what.
Right.
But it hurts. It hurts me physically.
Hurts.
Let's do this.
Ow.
Abu and Ross and I, let's all grow a mustache by next episode.
Okay, great.
Okay.
And just see how it looks.
Just don't shave between now and then.
Just don't shave between now and next episode. Well, you can shave around in your chin and your cheeks. You just can't shave your mustache.
Okay, cool.
And then whoever has the best mustache is the GM.
I'm going to be really embarrassed if you guys don't show up with a mustache next week.
Oh man, this is a great challenge.
This is a great, the game within the game. We got to keep this interesting for us. Should we bet money on this?
You've already said you've bet more than money. You've bet the GM status.
That's right.
That's right. Okay. So whoever has the biggest, most impressive mustache in a week's time is the new game master of Haunted City.
Amazing. Things don't look good for me. I feel like months go by and my mustache still only gets to teenage boy level.
Yeah, I can't wait to show the world my wispy mustache.
Yeah. You guys, I'm just gonna have one painted on and try to trick you.
It's a long awkward phase. Some might say it's all awkward phase.
This is where Josephine just comes in with like a full-on beard, like Kratos beard. Be like, I'm the GM
Y'all
now.
don't even know.
We're gonna come in wispy. She's gonna roll in like ZZ Top.
Well, guys, all I can say to that is 1,000 years ago, this was a land of beauty and magic. Then came the cataclysm that blotted out the sun and ripped open the gates to the land of the dead. Yeah. The city of Doskvol is a metropolis of tenements and factories surrounded by crackling lightning barriers. Outside the city is a wasteland of ravening undead and a bunch of Severosi guys that just got their asses handed to them. Inside the city is a teeming hive of scum and villainy, intrigue and corruption. Life is cheap in a city ruled by death. The sun is gone. The only thing that shines in Doskvol are the blades in the dark. Dark. The only thing that shines. That always tries to throw me. Okay. Welcome back to Haunted City, and we're going to get into our game right now. Here's what has happened in recent episodes. Our group were first targeting the Leviathan Hunters at the beginning of the season. They found out about Lord Strangford, who has been affected by his dealings with demons out in the Void Sea. They were kind of trying to sell that information, and they have made an enemy of the Leviathan Hunters. Meanwhile, they are dealing with dissension within their ranks. Ekphelia loves Juliet, but Juliet is starting to love Valkos and wants to destroy Ekphelia. Ekphelia has learned this and is making plans to take Juliet's spirit and put it in Valkos' body and create another vampire. There, it's not that confusing. You've been following along. You know what's going on. In our last episode, they went on a score out into the Deathlands and beat up some Silvernails, a gang full of Severosi mercenaries who hunt ghosts. It ended very badly for the Silvernails, and it once again cemented this dysfunctional sort of status quo among the Remnant. It appears that it's Valkos and Juliet versus Ekphelia, but they don't quite know that both of them are gunning for each other yet. Let's get right back into our game by doing downtime as we always do with XP. So, my friends, let us start with, I think, Valkos. Why not?
Oh, okay.
Valkos. Looks like you recorded...
I had two desperate rolls.
Yeah. And do you want to put that into your
Yes, I do.
Playbook
advancement, absolutely.
Okay, great. And then addressed a challenge with violence or coercion. Now here's
definitely violence.
When did you use?
I asked a guy off their horse.
Okay, take one. I actually thought it was cool that you kind of used a lot of trickery and
I
tried talking at the very beginning. But no, I mean, it really showed me that these characters are kind of growing in a way. Like they're trying to use different. They're not doing the same behavior over and over and expecting a different response. They're actually trying different behaviors. You expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background big time. This was a Severosi mission, and you used it in your tactics. Take 2. And you struggled with issues from your vice or traumas during the session. I have to be honest.
I don't think I did.
Your vice helped you.
It. Yeah, that's the thing. I used it I almost took it as my advantage rather than anything else. So I don't think I did.
No, that's not good. Yeah, you're right. That's not going to count for you. So that is Valkos. Good work, Valkos. Let's look at Juliet.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Wait. Juliet, put your sheet away. Put it down.
I'm so sorry.
No problem. No problem.
This is just me being, I don't know, maybe a bit overstepping, but if we're playing into this gang being, I don't know, maybe vengeful, playing into rivalry there, maybe would it trigger
were you getting revenge against the Silvernails? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, it's. I've got some beef with my people, don't I? So I guess
you're talking
about
not
my people, but because the fact that
payback against someone who harmed you or somebody did they I don't know your backstory.
They sliced and diced me, man, and they also they're also against my people in the. I said that when the Path of Echoes were like, oh, the people, these guys. I'm like, ha! They called themselves the Silvernails. I mean, the Sadeki. Remember?
You're right. So this is a group special ability, Vengeful, right? That we're talking about.
Well,
and
we each have it, so it can actually stack.
Right. Okay. So I think that you do take the extra XP if that's what it does. Vengeful is that, but it's on your group sheet. Is that right?
That's
No,
right.
so you get payback against someone. So you get additional XP trigger. But if your crew helped you get payback as well, you also mark crew XP. So we get crew XP and an additional personal one.
But it's an individual ability.
It's an individual ability that Valkos has.
That Valkos has, and so does Juliet.
And so does Juliet.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't convinced until you reminded me that that we had set up fiction that they had been like a rival group in Severos, and that also they sliced and diced you right before the score started.
Right.
Definitely, you'd be gunning for them.
Yeah,
So,
Makes
amazing.
sense.
well done. All
That's
right.
another full playbook advancement. So I'm going to take my time to pick my power. Thank you
we
very
go.
much, good sir.
Oh my gosh.
Come back to me later.
Okay,
Can I ask a question before we start counting these?
Sure.
Is it possible to get a fourth dot in anything?
Not until we master our crew.
The crew
until we
has to
gain-
get to a
yeah,
certain level.
The crew, there's an ability in the crew sheet which means mastery that allows us to get the fourth dot. So we can't actually get that just by itself.
I see. Okay. That's what I was wondering.
Okay.
Cool.
So maybe we should move toward that on the crew sheet. But
Oh my gosh, it's really hard to get on the... It's 4?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's 4, man. It's a lot.
Okay. Okay.
yeah. All right. So let's do Juliet Belrose. Juliet, how many desperate actions did you record?
I did 2 desperate actions.
Do you want to keep them where they're at, or do you want to move them into your playbook advancement?
Can I decide once I see how much advancement we
Sure.
get?
You addressed a challenge with technical skill or mayhem. You certainly did that. So go ahead and take 2 for that, because you did that a lot. You
Okay.
expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I feel like the final thing that you guys did used Juliet's backstory beautifully. So go ahead and take 2 for that.
Okay.
You struggle with issues from your vice or traumas. That I don't know about.
No, yeah, and I was going to describe that almost like it's not an official trauma, but I was going to describe, what we put into background almost like a trauma.
Yeah.
Thinking of Ophelia, but we've already taken it.
Yeah, I think so. So that's
yeah, I
good.
don't think there's anything else.
Your playbook's about half full. Do you want to move any of those desperate action XP into the playbook now, or are you good with everything as it is?
No, I think I'm going to keep You know what I am going to do? Actually, I'm going to just move them all into one of the attributes instead. I'm going to take them out of the playbook. Because I think there's, what is that, 4? Yeah, so I'm going to advance my insight.
Oh, interesting. What are you going to advance it to?
I think I'm going to advance my survey.
Survey up to 3.
Survey. Yeah, up to 3.
Okay. Nicely done. These characters get more and more powerful, and they're just at tier 2 now. It's amazing. Okay. So that is Juliet Belrose. And before we find out what special ability our friend Valkos has chosen, let us look at Ekphelia. I always have to dig through Ross's characters. I think it's number 3. Yeah, Ross character 3. Ekphelia, you had some desperate actions or no?
I did. I took quite a few.
Yeah. Do you want to keep them where they're at? I think they were in prowess, yeah?
Yes, and I think I've maybe had one left over in resolve. Yeah, and I think, yes, I'll keep those there. Let's see what else we got here.
Okay, great. Let's go down to the playbook advancement. Did you display your dominance or slay without mercy?
I was literally an Overwatch sniper, firing on people from a distance.
That's right. Go ahead and take an XP for that.
Death from above.
You express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Expressed. I'm always sort of focused on Juliet, but I don't know that was like a very prominent feature of the last one.
No, I don't think it was. Let's move on to the next trigger. You struggled with issues from your vice, traumas, or strictures during the session. I don't think that happened either.
No.
Okay.
It was a relatively contained score from Ekphelia's perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Despite the desperate battle that was done.
Now you could move this playbook XP of which you have. Oh, go ahead.
Didn't we have like a consequence of what happened with where Ekphelia could tell that like we were getting close?
Yeah, it was right at the end.
Yeah.
Right at the end.
I was like, I felt their heartbeats.
This is the
two hearts that beat as one. And,
of our actions, of that roll.
All right, you know what? What the hell? Give yourself another XP because that was just such great role play and such a great way to end the session. So yes, that brings you up to 5 playbook XP. You want to just keep it there?
No, I'm going to move that 1 resolve into prowess, and I'm going to drop 3 from my playbook into prowess so that I can buy another dot of prowess.
Okay, what are you putting that dot in?
I am going to. I've been especially violent lately, and I've been my most recent vampiric trait is this expression of physical power, and so I think that is beginning to manifest in the lithe little body of Ekapragwodi is becoming more of a weapon. So I'm going to drop it into skirmish.
Nice. All right, time for payoff. All right, so let me bring up the crew sheet, and let's talk about. Oh no, I forgot Abu. What do you know? What special ability you're going to take?
I do. Tough as nails from the hound, which is penalties from harm are 1 level less severe.
Nice.
Holy shit!
Very cool.
Oh my god, this character is getting harder and he's harder and harder to hurt. Okay.
Oh, could Vengeful have applied for me since you got payback against someone who harmed someone I care about? That's what it says. It says you or someone you care about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ooh, thanks.
Oh, he hates it.
He does hate it, but...
You guys. You damn guys. Okay.
You little scamps.
So, you scamps. Here we go. I'll bring up that shadows sheet. And we're going to look at the XP for the crew. I needed to do that before payout. Anytime I do downtime, I'm always like at the very beginning, I'm like, okay, let's do downtime activities. Wait, let's do payout. Wait, let's do the rest of XP. Okay, so the rest of XP goes thusly. You can mark crew XP for vengeance, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's 2 technically.
But did they harm your crew or did they just harm Valkos?
No, because it's essentially hold on, let me read it again. So if your crew helped you get payback, also mark crew. So they technically so I'd say actually 1 then.
1,
right?
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so I'm giving them 1 more. And then it's, did you execute a successful burglary, espionage, robbery, or sabotage operation?
Now,
No.
I know you probably say no. However, we didn't, and I agree. However, this is for the players out there who would be like, but they technically did sabotage the operation of them trying to find the tunnels. Yes, but it was an assault. So, just saying, this is, player and GM working together. Okay, just saying it out there for the people out there who despise you as GM. Thanks. All right, go on, continue.
Now, there are a few of them out there, and I'm glad that we can please them as well.
You know what I mean? We've got to please everyone, right?
No, I mean you did sabotage their operation, but it wasn't
we
like
attacked them full on. We didn't
you did.
It was drug their horses. You know what I mean?
If you had somehow made their operation unsuccessful without just killing them, then maybe it would be a sabotage. But I'm afraid I'm going to say no. Did you contend with challenges above your station? Yeah, one tier above. Take a blip for that. Did you bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one? I don't think so, because I'm going to tell you why. I think the heat is going to be very contained because you were all out in the Deathlands, right?
Okay.
And you also actually had a Ministry of Preservation person sort of tacitly helping you. Yes, what is your question?
Did the guy that I left floating, did he make it out? Did, as far as bolstering your reputation, did someone make it out or did they all die?
So the guy that you left floating is currently floating over night market. And he hasn't eaten in 4 days, so he is unconscious and he's dying. He's slowly starving to death in the skies of Doskvol.
That's
wow,
great.
it's kind of a bummer that you brought that up, Josephine.
Jeez.
I just wanted to bolster our reputation.
Yes,
Jesus.
well, instead you starved a man to death.
Oh, dear.
Did you express the goals, drives, inner conflict, and essential nature of the crew? I'm gonna say yes, because you stopped, you were working for your main patron. You allied yourselves with ghosts against ghost hunters. That's what this crew has been about the whole time. Take 2 for that. Your crew advancement is half full. So well done. And now we can go to rep, okay? So you earn 2 rep per score by default. I already have your turf counted, by the way. So with that 2 rep, you only need 1 more to fill your rep counter. And let's see, take 1+1 rep per tier higher that you dealt with. So that's another rep.
It's full.
So your rep counter is full already.
Oh. So.
Do we go to strong automatically? Or do you have to pay?
I think that you go to strong automatically.
Hell yeah.
Tier 2 strong.
Yeah, okay. So, let's see here. You need 12 rep to fill the rep tracker. If your hold is weak, it becomes strong. Reset your rep to 0. You did it.
Awesome.
Wow,
Hell yeah.
I think, was that in 1 score?
Yeah.
Or
it wasn't
2.
1 score. It was 2.
Yeah,
2.
'cause- yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, these were big, wild, crazy scores. So, good on you. Congratulations. Welcome to Tier 2 Strong.
Woo.
Okay. So that was rep. Then there's the small matter of how much the Path of Echoes offered you. And I think they offered you 6, but they wouldn't take their cut.
Hive, yeah.
Yeah.
So we can go ahead and add 6 coin to your vault.
Oh,
So I can do that for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So
Cool.
you're doing really well on coin. If anybody wants to take some out and put it into their stash, now's a good time because you're doing very well on coin.
I'm taking 2.
Oh wow. Okay.
I mean,
No.
Unless-
Take 2 of our hard-earned coin. No, it's totally fine. Actually, no. I'm going to take 2 too.
I mean, if everybody's doing it, then yeah.
Okay, did everybody take 2 coin out of the vaults?
Yes.
I'll take it.
And you're putting it into your stashes, right? The retirement
I'm
fund,
keeping
right?
1 on me and I'm putting 1 in the stash.
Okay.
Yeah, the same.
Okay, great. Okay. I'm going to do that quick and dirty. We will touch base with the Path of Echoes soon, but suffice to say that they paid you as they promised they would. And now let's go to Heat. And for Heat, I'm going to be a really sweetie pie GM today. I think it was out in the Deathlands. I think it was executed quickly with minimum eyes on you. I'm going to give you 2 Heat, contained standard exposure. I don't think that they are particularly high profile or well connected. And yeah, so 2 Heat.
Okay.
I'm adding those for you.
Ross, did you want to take 2 coins as well?
I did.
Did you already mark it
I did.
out of the crew?
I took it out of the crew and put it on my playbook. Yes.
Did you? Valkos, did you also?
Yeah, Jared did. Yeah, I did as well.
Wait, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh.
Everybody good? Are we ready for entanglements?
Yeah.
Okay, so your wanted level is still at 1, where you got it down after you were incarcerated. So let's see here.
It's not bad at all.
Your wanted level is 1. I'm going to roll 1 die. Your heat is currently 2. I'm going to roll 1 die on the 0 to 3 heat entanglement chart. Bang! That's a 5. Rivals or unquiet dead? I'll be deciding which one happens to you, my friends. A neutral faction throws their weight around. They threaten you, a friend or a contact or one of your vice purveyors, forfeit or unquiet dead. A rogue spirit is drawn to you. Perhaps it's a past victim. Acquire the spirit services of a whisper or railjack to attempt to destroy or banish it or deal with it yourself. I mean, it makes sense that the unquiet dead would be a problem after that last score, doesn't it?
Help them.
Yeah, we did help.
Well, that's why they like you. That's why they like you. And so here's what I'm going to say. You guys have 2 fine cavalry horses right now that you stole in this score. And boy, they would be worth so much to sell, or they'd be excellent steeds to use in your own jobs. But right now, every once in a while, they start speaking in tongues and green ectoplasm pours out of their mouth and their eyes glow. So there's definitely some sort of possession issue with these fine cavalry steeds. They are not yet pure loot or pure equipment that you can use. You need to find some way of dealing with their infected by spirit status.
I have an idea.
Love that.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to take them to our good friend, the Builder.
All right. Well, you can't really make them climb up all the way up that building to where the temple is.
You want us to call up Celiac?
I'll go to Celiac.
Celiac, you meet him at the foot of your tower. Oh, by the way, Ross, you're now playing Celiac. And Valkos shows up with 2 fine steeds. Valkos, what do you have to say to Celiac?
Celiac, it's been a long time.
It has been a time. And you, I think, have been busy. I heard news lately of your unfortunate incarceration.
Yes. Yes, it has been a tricky time, but what is life but ever so tricky, eh? Look, I have 2 steeds here, both possessed with a spirit, which we may have acquired from the lands of the dead. I acquire them to be, or require them to be depossessed, or exorcised, as some people would say. However, I have a better option. I will give you one of these steeds. They fetch a pretty penny for some form of, be it truce or some form of alignment between us, the Remnant, and you and the Builder. I mean,
if my
I kind of show my tattoo. What better part is it, rather than a human part, than maybe one of an animal full of power that rides the lands of the dead?
You have at one time been his hand. And indeed, these beasts possess ample strength and material for our great purpose. Tenanted as they are by the unquiet spirits that I sense within them. as indeed I can tell you have been a vessel and continue to be a knight. I can tell you've been outside the walls, Valkors. Even though you're not currently possessed, it is palpable that you have been wandering amongst them. But you wish to strike a deal, to come to some accord with my patron and myself. Whereas, if memory serves, it was you who did not wish to be associated with my particular organization. It was you who walked out when I offered my services to you to join in a prolonged accord and friendship with my patron. What services do you have to offer besides this bestowment of material? Are you seeking to rejoin our great labor?
Saliak, my dear friend, I believe that we have always been aligned in some way, shape, or form.
You and I
That
both
do not
understand
deny.
the freedom and the potency of spirit. This I cannot
Yes.
deny.
Yes. And so I ask you, Saliak, to connect to that. Look into my eyes deeply and tell me, what do you see? Do you see a man here who is an enemy? Who sees you as scum or villainy? Or do you see a man here who understands where you are coming from? I did, as you rightly said, join you. I offered my hands. I gave you my hands. We are not enemies. Yes, our paths may have strayed, but remember, we still come from the same hair.
So, let's
Okay.
resolve this.
Yeah.
Is Selyak willing to take a horse, exercise the other one, and say, I think what you're looking for is a non-aggression pact. Is that right, Valkos?
Pretty much.
You guys just won't make a move against the Remnant.
Okay.
This is old-fashioned. People trading horses?
Horse
Damn.
trading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, non-aggression. There is the matter of like what Selyak maybe considers aggression. And
I mean, he might not even view what he's doing in terms of a gang that takes turf. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
I'm so yeah, and I think what you hear is that like I cannot help but admit that I felt a certain sense of personal betrayal when the hand that you so faithfully offered to my patron was put to other uses. But your spirit is your own. Yes. We are no longer in the petty business of enlarging our reputation, no longer in the pedestrian work of accumulation of riches and finery. We are about a deeper business. You have nothing to fear from us. I will take your horse. And he's like stroking its flank. It's like, yes, there is ample material here for my patron. And for that, perhaps these spirits may be sung to a more quiet rest. And you may have the other.
and so Selyak is going to use his whisper skills to quiet the spirit within the horse, which you may name Valkos. You're not sure what its name was. But what I will say about this horse is that to the end of its days, it never stops sometimes like cocking its head and being like, I'll chew on your mother's bones. Saying something creepy like that.
Great.
Yeah. I'll call it Ulf.
Ulf?
Ulf.
That's
Ulf.
hilarious because there's an NPC in Blades of the Dark named Ulf Ironborn, and if he ever finds out you named a horse after him, I am curious to see what his feeling will be on that. But the horse's name is now Ulf. Okay, so that was our entanglement, and it is dealt with, which means we are all the way to downtime activities where something is maybe going to happen this session. But let's not go straight to the danger zone. Let's start with a downtime activity for Juliette Belrose.
Okay. All right. Before any viewers are like, why aren't you prepping for defense or something? Juliette does not know, right? We established this last downtime that I don't suspect being hurt in
Juliette's
this.
gunning for Ekphelia, but does not realize that Ekphelia is gunning for her.
Yeah, and I've got the things that I made, I am going to... See, we don't need to decrease heat. Like, our heat's good on the crew side. I think I'm going to hold off on my stress until my second downtime because it's a very specific activity. And so I think for...
You don't have any harm, do you? You're without harm.
I do. I have one, like, plasm soaked, which I think we'd said, like, affects, like, my mental something.
Yes,
so I suppose I could... Yeah, I could tinker some harm away. Yeah, I should be... Yeah.
You want to
Why
do
not?
that?
I have the opportunity to. Yeah, let's tinker.
Might be important to get that harm tracker completely clear. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and you can roll your tinker because you have the Physiker special ability. And you can see how much you get off of, how much you're able to fill your healing clock.
Yes. And... 5.
5. Okay, so with a 5, you put 2 segments onto your healing clock.
Okay.
Which I think was empty, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was empty.
Okay, so you've been using a variety of salves and oils to try to get the plasm resonance that has gotten under your skin cleaned off of it.
Well, might as well use the coin and just heal again, just to continue. That way, I can just do another roll.
Yeah, spending a coin, it doesn't allow you to take another roll. It just ups the result, right?
Well, I was just for an extra downtime activity is rather what I was meaning.
Ah, okay. Yes, I think you can do that. So go ahead and...
you can also up the result. You can up the result.
I could, but it'd only be to 3. I think it'd be better for me to try and roll again with 4 dice.
Okay,
I think.
No, that makes sense.
Each additional activity costs 1 coin or 1 rep. Okay.
Yeah, so I figured I'd just roll it in right now since it's...
Yeah, sounds
so
good.
I'll spend that coin and just keep tinkering away and try this again. Let's see. Hopefully with a better roll.
A 4. A 4, which means that you recover, again, 2 more segments.
Okay,
but that
see,
should
it
fill
was
you
better
up.
to... Yeah. So it's filled up. So I lose my plasm-soaked state, which... I don't know, maybe just take like a really good Alkahest bath.
Yeah, you're in like a bath of like weird chemicals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And you finally get the plasm out of your soft tissues.
Yeah.
And are no longer suffering from spiritual static. All right, very well done. That is Juliette Belrose. Now let us move to Valkos.
I too will also heal. Now, what do I roll for healing?
Do you want me to?
You need to use your Physiker, and that in this case is Juliette Belrose.
Yes. So what? How? So I also get +1 die as well for my vigorous
on healing.
ability. Yeah.
Great. So I'll add 2 dice
Okay.
Awesome.
to this.
That's a huge, big ass roll.
It is 6.
And a 6. So a 6 is 3 segments.
And that gets rid of my sliced and diced, baby. Thank you. Okay, great.
So Juliet and Velkos are spending their much needed downtime.
In a bath together.
Oh,
Okay.
you said it, I didn't. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're in love. Clearly they're in love, and they are recuperating, they're healing their wounds. And while they're doing that, Ekphelia, what downtime activity would you like to engage in?
Well, first I'm going to hunt to get my stress down somewhat.
Okay, great.
That's my first activity.
Okay.
Here we go. Let's see how well this goes for me.
I know. I'm
4. Okay. That ain't nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Who do you think you fed on? And I would say with a 4, you probably didn't kill them.
No. Yes, perhaps this was just a tradesperson, and let's say maybe in night market, slipping out in a cramped alley, like smoking a little cheroot cigar or something, is out there, the glowing ember, and then just out of the shadows a face like, got a light, ducky. And then and you know the rest. And then that person is maybe just like after, like a swinging lamp up above reveals their face with a empty smile, as though they have been somewhat enervated by an arcane force.
And that is a downtime activity. And shall we go around again before we hit on Ekphelia's next downtime activity?
Why don't we?
Excuse me.
should I? So my next one is going to be indulging my vice, which is going to the fighting ring. Shall I do that right? As
I think that makes sense. That's we'll make it all work. It all makes sense. So you're gonna go fight yourself into a stupor, right?
Yeah.
All right. You go back to the Grey Cloak's fighting pit, and they have a lot of questions for you. Hutch and the others are asking you about what you've been doing lately. Do you think Juliet shares openly with them, or do you think she's kind of like keeps her business to herself, or what do you think?
I think she covers it as saying, like, we've been laying low as you told us to. That's why you haven't heard.
That's great, and they have a variety of people for her to go up against. It's like they do tournaments, and so why don't you go ahead and roll your vice? It's your lowest attribute,
indulge, right? Oh yeah, I'll just hit the indulge vice button, I assume.
Oh dang!
I rolled a 6, which takes me
take you down to 1 stress.
1.
All right.
Nicely done.
Oh, yeah, I feel so good in fighting rings. They really do well for me. They would never betray me. This space is my space.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that what's happening is you're just really getting into flow state. Like, one blow after another is hitting you, and you just completely stop thinking, and you start moving purely on instinct. And
of course, this means you've been beaten into a stupor, since that is the vice. So the blows are really raining down. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yes. But you are at only 1 stress now, and now going over to Valkos. What is your next downtime activity?
I guess I would have received the money from the Path of Echoes, and I would have indulged my vice there.
Okay, very good.
So that is
you've been playing chess with a particular spirit. Do you want to continue that experiment?
Well, I think I probably... Actually, you know what? Yeah, what's going to happen is I'm going to take the gold and from the Path of Echoes, and they probably would have offered to indulge myself there, but I'm like, I have another space. Or like, I'll be like, not today. I feel like I'm, I feel all right, kind of even though I'm slightly stressed, be like, I've got another place to get to. I haven't got any time. I'm gonna go and play some chess with my good old friend. I keep forgetting his name.
Aiden With.
Yes.
Aiden With. And I roll a 3, but I'm gonna add 2 with my functioning vice.
Right.
And I get
Yeah.
5.
That's awesome.
And so that takes off 5. So now I've got
So
1 stress.
good.
So yeah.
Again, it's like hard to get through to this particular spirit, and you're not sure whether it's just difficulty attuning or whether this is some sort of test from this spirit. But this time, you pull out the game at the last minute and you win. Again, you've beat him several times, and you get a brief vision. He manifests to you for a moment, and he comes close to you and says, "The game isn't over. Your enemies are moving into check position."
What? Wait, what?
It's time to move your pawns. And he's gone. So,
Dash the fuck out of there.
you dash the fuck out of there, and what are you going to find?
Well, I think I'm gonna try and talk to Juliet and talk to her about what the fuck's just happened.
Valkos is headed to 6 Towers to the fighting pit,
Yeah.
and now it is Ekphelia's turn for a downtime activity.
And you even picture Ekphelia there in the fighting ring, as the gray cloaks and the patrons move around, watching Marlene dodge, weave, and bludgeon Juliet Belrose. And I am going to continue my long-term project.
Okay.
So the final, as we've established, like we've put Marlene in place to subdue Juliet. We have a lower tiered gray cloak to take her out of the building under the auspices of healing her. We have set up a rendezvous with Selyak Khan at the Basilica of the Builder, where her head will be taken and the spirit will be given to me. Seems to me that the final portion of this is the Valkos transfer. And I think maybe that has to do especially with sedating or getting Valkos into a pliant state of mind. So I think I've maybe hopefully procured like a Doskvol speedball of Black Lotus and trance powder that Valkos can be subdued and the spirit can be placed within them and then can be kept in sort of suspended animation until the change has been fully wrought.
Great. Is there a way to not roll any segments? No, a 1 to 3 will give you 1 segment, which will complete this. So just tell me what action you're using. I still want to kind of see what action are you using to create your Doskvol speedball.
The Doskvol speedball, baby. I think I need to see a drug dealer. So I'm gonna consort.
Okay, great. Give me that consort roll.
Oh my god.
That would be a critical failure. It was double ones.
It would be if it were an action roll, but this is a long-term project roll.
Oh
if
my
you roll
gosh.
1 to 3, you get 1 segment.
Lord.
So, even though, Ekphelia, your specialty isn't drug dealing, and even though you're not really sure of the quality of this Doskvol speedball, this drug cocktail, you have successfully procured something that you believe will knock out our friend Valkos and put him into a sort of a state of temporary suspended animation. Your long-term project is complete. Thank you for explaining the entire plan to me and the audience. So now it's time to see how well it all goes off. How should we handle this? Because normally a long-term project would just happen. But in this particular case, it feels like there's stuff that could happen to Juliet, that she would have a say in. For example, step 1, Marlene beating her. I want to give credit to our friend Ekphelia for setting all this up perfectly, which Ekphelia did, but I also want to give Juliet a fighting chance. So Juliet, how do you think it would be fair to deal with this?
Oh man, this almost feels like a score.
Should it become a score?
It feels like a score, like to overcome. There's all these steps to,
It does, and everybody's had 2 downtime activities, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I've got 1 more left, so yes.
So does Ekphelia.
Would you guys like to do those downtime activities? And then the only problem is it's not quite a score because there's not really an approach and a detail, and there's 2 sides. It's free play. It's definitely free play. And free play can happen anytime, even in between downtime activities.
We could do something with like contested fortune rolls too, maybe.
Yeah. What we could do contested rolls, and you can give some bonuses to Ekphelia's side for having done this long-term project.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But maybe also in not to advocate for, but like, I don't know, maybe, and there may be bonuses that may come into play with the special skills and lucky rolls of Juliet and Valkos as well. But yeah, shall we take our other 2 downtimes?
Let's do it.
Great.
Okay, other 2 downtimes. Let's do that first. But Marlene is in the ring with Juliet as we get into this. Okay, but you could have taken this downtime earlier. So let's start with Valkos. What 3rd downtime activity? What do you want to do?
You said get my pawns in place, so I'm going to acquire another asset, which is another person, another vampire hunter.
Oh, you're going to get more than one.
Yeah, Tiff Taylor, our first vampire hunter, but also we're getting a backup.
Yeah, that's
all right. You need to roll your crew's tier, and that is a 2. Yeah.
So roll 2 die, right?
That's right.
Okay. I'm just gonna roll my resolve because it feels. Actually, no, more insight. Actually. Okay, let's do it.
A 6.
6.
Ooh.
You get a tier +1 vampire hunter. You've got a tier 3 vampire hunter.
I'm gonna give my coin to make it tier 4.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Incredible. Okay. Wow.
So you have Tiff Taylor, who you were like, I probably should have somebody else.
Yes.
And you also get, let's see who this person is. Oh, of course, my name generator is betraying me.
How are you gonna beat Tiff
you
Taylor?
Bastard. Come on now. All right, I'm gonna have to come up with the name off the top of my head. Alan Deming. No, let's call him Deming Fry. Actually, I like that name. Deming Fry.
Deming Fry. I love it.
And Deming Fry came to you because you were still asking around and was like, I heard you've hired the services of the Taylor woman.
Yes, I have.
That will be a disaster, darling.
Lovely.
The woman doesn't know the 19 techniques of vanquishment.
19 Who are you?
You haven't heard of my book. And he throws down a book that says the 19 techniques of vanquishment.
Are you a vampire hunter?
Am I a vampire hunter? I've also destroyed lycanthropes, hollows by the score. So I am not a vampire hunter. I am a monster hunter.
Amazing.
Then I require your services for the monster that we are hunting.
Sir, you do require my services. Without me, this thing will continue to prey on the city, and I can't have that on principle. My fee, however, is all collected and described in this bill that I'm about to hand you. And I will need a down payment.
Right. What's your payment?
Well, let's see. You successfully acquired the asset and you spent 2 coin, didn't you, to do it?
Yeah.
So you paid it.
Okay, great.
That's the, yeah, okay.
All right, Deming Fry, you've acquired him and Tiff Taylor.
Oof.
And perhaps you send a messenger to tell them to meet you at the Great Cloak's Ring, or where do you want to put them?
Yeah, I'd send them to the Great Cloak's Ring. We all go to the Great Cloak's Ring. Well, I actually, no, I wouldn't send them to the Great Cloak's Ring because I don't know that anything's going to happen there. I suspect what I will do is I will kind of give them, I'm going to go to the Great Cloak's Ring by myself because I think that I wouldn't suspect that Ekphelia would be there.
Hadn't you just
Really?
told Tiff to keep an eye on, like, wasn't Tiff
to
just sort of
watch,
like
to
waiting in the
watch.
rain,
Yeah,
like just
to
in
watch
case?
Ekphelia, yeah. So I think I would essentially send them both to watch Ekphelia. So wherever.
So they're there. So they're
okay.
there.
So there. Okay.
So while Ekphelia is carefully watching Marlene and Juliet in the ring, Tiff Taylor's going like, "Hey, there he is." "Yes, I see him, darling." "And by the way, it's an it. It in no way anymore resembles anything close to humanity. Of course, I mean, I only called it, yeah."
A tier 4 and a tier 2. This is brilliant.
So you've given Deming Fry a sidekick. All right. 2 vampire hunters are in the building, and now we go to Ekphelia's
Fortune roll.
third downtime. No, Ekphelia still has a third downtime activity.
I get 3 because of my sinister guile. Okay. That asset acquirement was very wise and crafty.
Yeah, you could go back in time a bit too, you know.
Of
whatever.
course. Absolutely.
I feel like Ross is about to acquire an anti-vampire hunter.
That's like, of course, when you do
A
something like
vampire hunter.
that's like the thing.
But
right?
how much have you acquired of what? Because you don't know the plans are put in place. You just know that we are madly in love, right? Or what?
I don't know exactly. I don't know.
What did you glean? Okay.
I think I learned a lot, but I think the main takeaway was that you were planning to burn me, or that there was talk that you were. That I was feeling threatened. That there was a plan in place, but I don't know its every detail.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Acquire an asset.
Yes, I will.
Arms race. Arms race.
It's an arms
race.
It's an arms race. I will acquire an asset. Actually, I want to acquire not a human asset. I want to acquire a spectral asset. I want to get a. Valkos's weakness is ghosts, or not. He's a ghost fighter, but he also, goes dabbles with them. So I feel like there may be something to having a spiritual bodyguard of some kind.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that is what I'd like. I'd like to get a whisper to have I would like a devoted ghostly retainer.
Excellent.
Oh man.
Excellent.
That's cool.
Acquire, my
That's
friend.
cool.
You roll your tier.
Which is 3?
2.
Two.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Yep.
We
So-
wish.
I know,
Yeah, I
right?
know.
Right? Okay, so I'm just going to roll 2d6.
Yeah.
Here we go. 3.
3 and a 1. So 3 is your high roll. And that's
-1.
That's not great. It's tier
No.
-1. So you have a level 1, a tier 1 ghost
Okay.
following you around. And it's a blurry kind of like thin translucent shade. It's the best you could get on short notice from a whisper. You're not even quite sure. It's like, it's not gendered. It's not, it's just like this hazy kind of like silhouette that you sometimes detect in the corner of your vision. But it is following you. It's like a shadow that follows you.
Yeah, maybe maybe just to retcon a little, that like this was maybe a form, whoever that tradesman was that I sucked some life out of earlier. This was following them around, and I've like coaxed it away, and it's now following me around.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's the kind of, and I'm maybe trying to just get it to possess, intervene if I'm feeling threatened.
Very good. You have a tier 1 ghost, and we'll just call it the ghost for right now, because it doesn't really have a lot of detail or personality. It's still mostly over in the spirit realm. And so now we must determine how we're going to do this. So I would say, off the top of my head, I would say Juliet should get a chance in the fight, right? But Marlene being a rival of a tier 2 crew is at least tier 2, but Marlene should get extra dice because Marlene is part of a powerful and complex plot. Yeah, an elaborate plan.
That's what I think, yeah. That seems fair.
So I have an idea. Let's do this, okay? Why don't we have Ekphelia roll an action to give Marlene directions on how to beat Juliet, and the result of the roll will determine how many extra dice Marlene gets.
Oh.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. What action would you use to direct Marlene in this way?
Okay. We even had that little scenelet of me kind of bending her ear. So I think, I want to say sway because that's helpful to me.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
so maybe, with sway, it's not so much of like pointing out weaknesses or giving her strategy. It's like getting her psyched up, which is kind of what you did before. You got Marlene excited for vengeance against Juliet, right?
Oh, actually, how about this? How about instead it's a prowl and it's a directing her how to put something into her weapons, like subtly poison the edge of a blade, put a piece of lead into a glove. So it's more of a sabotage-y kind of thing like that.
Yeah, that sounds like something Ekphelia would know how to do. So Ekphelia, use your prowl to teach Marlene how to palm a heavy piece of lead into her glove.
Here we go. 4 is my best result.
4. So I'm going to go with one of these like other things that say, if you roll a 4, you get this much or whatever.
Yeah.
So let's see. A 4 or 5 gives you 2 more dice. So she is going to roll 4 dice in her attack against you, and the fight has begun.
And this is skirmish, yeah.
This is skirmish for you, and she's smiling like she knows something, Juliet, as she comes in, and you guys start exchanging blows. And, at one point you knock her to her knees, and she's on her hands and knees, and Ekphelia, you see her like make the quick gesture that shows that she's put the lead into her gloves, and she leaps back up and goes, "Aah!" And she rolls.
You want me to roll as well as this contested?
I do. I want you to roll as well.
Should I put this in a desperate position?
It kind of you can call it a desperate action, sure.
I'm not going to add anything because I don't think there's any stakes to this. Juliet doesn't know this is just a fight. I don't know to push this. I'm just going to fight like I always do.
Okay.
4.
4 is your highest. and Marlene rolled a 6. So Marlene knocks Juliet the fuck out.
Yeah.
The gray cloaks come out and they take Juliet's body out of the ring. Marlene is like, ah! I put her down! I put her down!
I'm in the ring, right? I'm there.
You are, and you are about to show us what you're going to do after we come back from a quick break.
It begins.
We're back, and Juliet has just been knocked out by Marlene, a pugilist, and she's being dragged into the back of the fighting pits of the Grey Cloaks. Her fate is looking bleak because this is all part of Ekphelia's master plan. I think, Valkos, that's when you run into the fighting pit. I don't run
into the fighting pit. I run to go see how Juliet is, because it's that thing of like, I think in my head I would have probably have acted on instinct, but because of that kind of put your pawns in play, I'm like, what the fuck, this isn't normal. She just went down like a sack of potatoes. I'm gonna go and see what the hell is going. I'm gonna go see how she is.
Right, and they know, the Grey Cloaks know you as well as they know her, so they're gonna let you into the back. You're one of the people that won a lot of money for them not too long ago, fighting Juliet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that means, Ekphelia, you see both of them go into the back. You see Valkos follow your quarry into the back.
But of course, I've got my contact whose job it is to get her out of there post haste.
That's true.
So I think I might go around to see that departure is actually taking place.
Great, and you do that, and that's when Tiff and Deming Fry look at each other and follow you out the front door.
And I go and I see, and I'm with her, and I'm like,
are you? He said,
what?
He hired he asked this guy to get her out very quickly, and it was all arranged. So actually, Valkos, what you see when you go into the room where they would let someone lay down and recover is nobody, and you can hear the doors to the outside slamming shut.
Well, I'm going to move towards the door.
You open the door and you see that Juliet's body has just been put into a carriage that is taking off.
What? Then I'm going to go and try and stop it.
Okay, you start running after it. Ekphelia, that's what you see when you come around the corner.
Good. I want to say that I want to be like on that carriage. But I don't have to.
No, wait, let's see. Is it fair to say if someone pays enough stress, they're on the carriage, including Valkos or you?
Sorry?
Is it fair to say if you pay enough stress, I'll allow you to be on that carriage?
But the offer also goes to Valkos, is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Right.
I'll say that, one of these abilities of mine is I can pay stress to move by the letter of the write-up faster than a carriage.
Well then, I think you should use that ability if you'd like.
So I might go faster than a carriage, and maybe I'm not on it. I'm ahead of it.
Then I'm going to use the horse that I traveled with to get to that place to chase the carriage.
Right.
And Deming and Tiff are going to look at each other and see you running after the carriage with a horse and see their quarry go, shoo! who like take off like with supernatural powers, and they are left without a ride, so they are going to try to acquire one. Let's see how they do rolling Demings. They're going to roll Demings.
Tier 4, right?
Tier 4, yeah. They roll a 6, and so Deming immediately gets a handsome cab, and he's like, follow that horse! And so now, just to set the scene, the carriage with Juliet's inert body is rattling down the streets of Doskvol toward the Temple of the Builder. Ekphelia, you are keeping pace with it? You are ahead of it? What are you doing?
Yeah, like, you know, the very anime thing of like running across rooftops and like leaping like rooftop to rooftop. That's kind of what I want to be doing. I don't know if
that is what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Hey, you spent the stress for your superpower. Why not? Yeah, you are leaping rooftop to rooftop, and because of this, you are not directly in the line of sight of Valkos or the hunters. Okay, right. And Valkos, you got your horse, but you're a normal man, so in order to catch this, you had to run, go grab your horse, get on it, chase after this carriage. I need an action.
Well, I'm gonna say that because it's the horse, and this is purely coming from my good playing of Tears of the Kingdom, Legend of Zelda. There you go. Horses need to pull an object, right? So it's heavier. So I've got a horse just by myself and it's just me, so I'm technically faster, right? So I would technically say I've got the advantage here of catching this carriage. I mean, you see it all the time with highwaymen.
That's super, super fair, and I will definitely factor that into the action roll.
Okay, and I'm going to roll then my my finesse, because I'm handling this horse, right? Handle a vehicle, a mount, yep. What is my position?
I'm going to say risky for standard effect. And by that I mean that if you fail, you won't totally lose it, but you'll be like one roll away from totally losing it, right?
Okay, well, I got a 5. So that's
you got a 5.
Okay.
Yeah, success with a consequence?
Success with a consequence, which means that you are now like within shooting distance of it, but you haven't quite caught up to it yet. You haven't been able to like, you know, you're not quite close enough to leap onto it. So is your goal to just follow it where it's going, or is your goal to leap on there and rescue her?
It's to leap on and stop this carriage.
Okay, you're not quite there yet. Okay,
you're not shooting distance.
Stop.
You are shooting distance.
That's a very good point there. So I might shoot it next time round.
Okay, I'm gonna allow our other characters to do things. Yes. What were you gonna say, Josephine?
I was gonna say Juliet is having this sweet, darling dream, riding out like over the deserts towards this like imagined idea of Severos that Valkos has told her about. They're both on this, you know, newly acquired horse, and it's all very fantastical and sweet, and there's like nothing bad going on. It's very peaceful, and she's just sort of unconscious in this nice unharmed slumber where nothing is going wrong.
I love that. What a beautiful dream. And I will just add to it that if the player Josephine wants to have something happen beyond just laying there, then she needs to let me know. Okay.
Love that.
And let's.
I mean, she's out, right? Like, there's nothing I can.
She's out. Like, it was a full knockout, but we didn't say that it was a special poison knockout, right?
No.
So who knows exactly how long it will last. Let me ask Ekphelia if you want to do something as you see Valkos get within shooting distance on his horse.
I just pause on the gable of a building, like almost like skidding off. It's fully like hanging on a gargoyle, and then and I pause for a second and just feel like an entity like near me, and I just whisper to it, "Stop him." And I want to send the ghost to just slow Valkos down.
I will need an action.
Sounds like, that would be a tune, I'm sure.
Sounds like a tune, yeah.
Which I am not good at. But let's do it.
Risky for standard effect. So if you succeed, the ghost will actually follow your orders and try to
That's a failure.
Oh,
I rolled a 3.
The shade that you managed to coax to follow you doesn't really quite appear to understand, and instead kind of starts to merge with you, and you can hear the whisperings of a young woman say, Charlie?
Get out of my...
Charlie? I know I'm home late. Charlie? A lot of ghosts, they really don't know what's going on.
No. So I'm trying to shake it off now. Yeah.
All right, so that'll bring us back to Valkos. Valkos, you were within shooting distance of the carriage. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna pull a gun and aim for the rider. Who do I know? Do I realize it's the Grey Cloak?
Oh yeah, it's a gray cloak. You recognize him, and when he turns back and sees you aiming the barrel at him, his eyes go wide. And you're not sure of his name, but you've definitely seen him with the other gray cloaks. He knows who you are. You know he's one of them.
I think that will be it might be a finesse. Again, because I'm riding and shooting, right? It's like a... Would it be?
You love finesse. It can be finesse. It can be finesse. Okay, go ahead.
Makes sense to me.
Or I can use prowl to jump on the carriage, gain that speed, jump on the carriage, and tackle this guy.
Which do you prefer?
I think I'm gonna. I had the gun idea. So but then that will attract attention. So instead of pulling a gun, I'm gonna try and jump on this guy. I'm gonna try and jump on this carriage.
Okay, we're gonna use prowl to jump on the carriage, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. That's going to be risky because if you fail, you're gonna fall down off the carriage. I don't know that it will harm you, but it will mean that they are well able to get away. And if you succeed, you'll be on the carriage.
Okay. Can I push myself?
You certainly can. Take 2 stress and add a die.
Okay. So, let's see. Pick a die. 4. Oh, thank 4.
Success with a consequence. So, the success is that you get on the carriage. The consequence is that you're barely on it. You're holding on to the side, and now this guy is aware of you. And there really is only one guy, because it was impossible to create a conspiracy of 4 gray cloaks to help you, right? So he's having to drive the carriage, and he sees you there, and you can see that he's reaching for a weapon behind his back to try to deal with you.
I'm kind of shouting, "Stop! I'll pay you double! Stop!"
Oh, interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. Any stirrings from Juliet yet?
Should I do a fortune roll?
I think that's a great idea.
That's great.
Okay.
Yeah. But the fortune roll can have more than one die sometimes. Let's just see what is a Juliet comes to fortune roll. What does that look like? I'm gonna look at your sheet.
I don't know. There's a roll fortune button, but I don't actually know what it's made up of.
Yeah, you know what it's gonna be? Here's what it's gonna be. Your prowess is 2. You're gonna roll 2 dice.
Cool.
So roll my prowess. Okay.
Mm-hmm. A 1
and a 4.
Okay, so having rolled a 4, that means a success with a consequence. You were, but it's a fortune roll, really. It's not really like you were trying to do something. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna say that you are now in a half awake state, but you're still not. You're kind of what's up,
okay? Yeah. Twilight.
You're in a twilight state. Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Normally someone would give you some smelling salts, put a wet cloth on your face, but nobody has done that. Okay, Ekphelia, you now see that Valkos is on the carriage, and you can hear him yelling something to the driver.
Okay, so this section of the plan a long-term project set in motion. All its shit's filled, but I'm somehow still fighting my way through.
No, that's a very good point. So if you feel like you should get extra dice, I just didn't want the long-term project to automatically decapitate Juliet.
I of course kid. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I see what's happening. Valkos is on it. He's shouting something at my minion. This fucking ghost. I'm just like rending it away from my eyes, like as it merges into my head. I'm weirdly like seeing into the past through its eyes or some shit. It's like no, and I'm like, you're not gonna take her away from me. And I'm going to leap off this building and crash into the carriage and just do it myself. I'll carry her there myself. I want to go full Universal Monsters. I will have her in my arms running over the rooftops of the city.
Oh my god, yes.
Okay, here we go. Give me a roll to crash down into the carriage, because your main goal is to get your hands on her and carry her away, right?
That's right. I'm going to spend the stress to employ my my terrible power, and I'm going to roll finesse to leap down in there. Okay, great. Go ahead and give me that finesse roll. It is risky for standard effect. If you are successful, you will have your arms on Juliet. You'll be in the back, where you can grab her.
Jesus.
If you have failed, you would have missed the carriage and it might have gotten away from you, but you did not fail. You rolled a 6.
Yes.
And so you are now, all of a sudden, Valkos, like as you're trying to shout to the driver, I'll pay you, stop the carriage. Suddenly this shape smashes down into the back of the carriage, which is really like just kind of like a covered cloth deal. It's not like a hansom cab. And so you smash down into it, my friend Ekphelia, and you now, Universal Monster style, have Juliet in your arms, and you can see that she's kind of muttering.
Yeah. I think in the twilight, sort of like sees and is like, Ophelia, my love.
Yes, darling. Yes, darling. Don't worry. Everything will...
And just making eye contact with Valkos.
Everything will be okay soon.
And
I think it's someone else's turn now.
I'm out of there as soon as I can.
As soon as you can be. Mm-hmm. All right, Valkos, this has changed things. You have seen what we said, that you just made eye contact with Ekphelia, who has their arms around Juliet. What do you do?
So, this is the moment where I think... So I'm just barely I'm hanging on this thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It hasn't stopped, by the way, either.
Then I am going to push myself to perform a feat of physical force that verges on the superhuman. And I think I am literally going to try and stop this carriage. Now, hear me out. This pushing myself means that I can stop a horse, right? Well, from what I read, a superhuman. We're playing with superhumans here, right? Mm-hmm, so I am literally, I see this and my blood boils because everything connects, and I suddenly just get my feet and I go and try and almost weigh myself down to stop this carriage from moving anywhere, causing some form of force that will hopefully shake Ekphelia off, potentially also with the body.
You spent the stress, right, to get this superhuman power?
Yeah.
I am not going to make you roll for this. I think that if you've spent the stress, you have the superhuman strength, and the carriage was just also hit by another object, which might have slowed it down a little bit, and the driver was distracted. Both all of it together, I think, equals you smash your feet down and grab a hold of it, and the carriage kind of spins, and the horse kind of like rears, and the whole thing kind of like clatters to a stop. And I'm going to use a fortune roll to see if it actually crashes. Here we go. It does crash. So I rolled low, and so the carriage, even though you do stop at Valkos, it does go over on its side. There are some barrels and other crates in the back. They go smashing, spinning out, Ekphelia, you and Juliet kind of have to leap clear, and the whole thing goes skidding down the street, smashing into other things in the middle of the street. And now there's an overturned carriage, and onlookers are screaming and gawking. And that brings us to Juliet. Would you like to roll another
vampire
fortune?
hunters.
Well, they were in a carriage behind you, and they will be there very soon.
Right, okay.
So
Yeah, should I roll another fortune?
I think so, yeah.
Same one, prowess?
I think so.
Here we go.
Whoa.
Critical.
A critical.
I mean, a crash would, maybe
I
snap
think that
me
is
out
what
of it.
happened. It jolted
Jolt
you
you
out of
out.
it. You are now fully awake, and I think that you can act. And next round, you can talk right now, though. What do you say to your love, Ophelia?
What is happening, Ophelia? What has happened? What is going on? Be honest with me.
We've been flung aside. You're now awake.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, just rising in front of you is Ophelia. Just takes Sophia, feeling everything's okay. You're okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm taking you away from all this.
Wait, where? What do you mean?
Don't you understand, darling? I have to save you from yourself.
And that flashes me back to a moment because I feel like Una Farrow said the exact same words about Juliet to her in their past. About saving her from her own machinations, and that is big trigger.
Don't like that.
She doesn't like that. She doesn't like that. And you can tell, it's Juliet's demeanor changes when Ekphelia says that.
So it might be time to do something there, my friend Ekphelia. You still sort of have Juliet in your arms. Mm-hmm. You've had this brief exchange. What do you do?
As I said, I want to grab her and run up a wall to into the heart of Six Towers to the builder.
Yeah, so success. I'm not going to make you roll for that. You've already spent stress to be able to kind of leap along walls and things like that. Now, Juliet can start acting against you on her next turn, but you have successfully so far run up a wall with her in your arms and are leaping across the building. Valkos, I'll just say, Ekphelia is not outside of gun range yet, but Ekphelia is running. Now it is time for the vampire hunters to arrive. Their carriage has to come screeching to a stop at this carriage wreck, and they both jump out and point to Ekphelia, and unfortunately they have to do all of that. They have to get out, they have to stop their carriage, get out, and find their target. So that's their whole turn, and Valkos, it's your turn.
I'm gonna fire my gun to Ekphelia.
Now it's getting rough.
Hey,
I'm
This
I'm still being held, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh no.
I'm gonna
consequential. Yes,
I'm gonna
consequential.
fucking aim and in blind rage just fire.
Amazing.
And I think that will be a finesse, right? To use a weapon, is it? Or is it
Well-
no? It's hunt.
It's often hunt.
So yeah. I'm gonna hunt.
If you were going for a very specific called shot, I might say finesse is okay. If you're just trying to blast him, hunt will work because it's fine. Get a beat on your target and fire. I mean, you could even say wreck or some other action. Any action
No,
can
actually,
be used.
I think actually, no, I'm in rage. So I think, am I in rage though?
Well, doesn't it's one of your items, the rage vial, right? But just doing your
I'm calculating though, so I've got the calculating special ability, so I kind of see this. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna Like, I think rage kind of sparks in me because I was like, I knew this all along. Why didn't I act sooner? You fool. You should have done something sooner. This is why you're not a good leader. And then suddenly something clicks in and I'm like, you know, it's what's that guy's name? Ivan? No, it's not Ivan.
Iden with.
Yeah. Iden is just like, play your pawn. And as I kind of aim for, I go to aim for Ekphelia, but instead of aiming for Ekphelia, I aim above, just kind of almost blind, and kind of, you know, as a way of like hitting like the brickwork or the woodwork to splinter and sort of, you know, do something to miss again, sort of intentionally, not necessarily miss, but to sort of slow down, to kind of, again, within sort of this kind of, I'm seeing this sort of spider movement moving up. I'm going to
Like
try
startle.
Startle, essentially, rather than necessarily fire on the body. But this is a vampire, right? It's probably in the state of a sense of adrenaline. So the idea of even firing anything at it probably won't necessarily deter it. But having something startle it will do it. So that's why I'm going to roll finesse.
Okay, I will allow it. Great description. Do you want a devil's bargain?
Go on.
If you succeed with a 6, you succeed too well, and you remove the footing of Ekphelia.
Okay.
She'll fall.
Okay.
Are you taking it?
You get an
Taking
extra
it.
die for that.
Okay, here we go. You get an extra die.
Okay. I'll go 5 though.
No 6.
Wanna go 5?
Oh my god.
Okay. I'm gonna rule that you blast out a part of the wall right ahead of Ekphelia. Ekphelia, that pauses you. That stops you for a second. Okay. And now we're getting into like very hard PvP. So we might start doing roll versus roll like we've done in the past, if everybody understands that.
Yeah.
But now I want to, so you are hanging sideways on a wall. You are about to scrabble over it onto the roof, and then all of a sudden, bang, a big piece of the wall is gone from Valkos' shot. And a big chunk comes out, and it makes you pause for a second, Ekphelia, and that's enough time for Juliet to do something if she wishes. Juliet.
I think she turns and yells back and shouts, Valkos! And looks back to Ekphelia. Why are you doing this? I trusted you. And I'd like to grab one of the projectiles that I made with the fire oil. And
now here's
I'm
the
much
thing.
closer
It's
than
true that
how
you're
I'd
close.
intended to.
Here's the thing I'm going to pose to you, though.
Yeah.
Were you completely armed while in the ring, fighting ring? Because that's what you're currently accoutered with right now.
Yeah, well, so what I was saying, I don't think I would have gone anywhere without those projectiles and the blow dart that's needed for it, because like we've been planning on this, right? This is like, we don't know when we'll find the opportune moment. At least that's what I had thought ahead of time.
Okay.
I don't know that I have my whole kit or anything. I don't think I have my whole kit or anything like that, but I think that the things that we had been planning in our downtime was to find like the opportune moment for this, right?
It's true. You have been planning as well, and that is why you prepared those things. So, what do you think about the idea of having a fortune roll to see if if anything has happened to them? Because you've been
I've been
around
tossed
a lot.
around. Yeah.
Does that
I think
sound
that's
okay?
totally fair. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think you would roll for that? I think because you were the one taking care of them, one of your attributes would be a good thing for the fortune roll.
Yeah.
I think it would be probably... Go ahead.
I was going to say insight to put them somewhere safe.
Yes, I'll allow it.
Okay. Let's try it.
4 is a success with a consequence. You only have one of them. You pull one.
Yeah.
You pull both of them out, and one is broken and has already kind of gone off down the street. You have one.
Okay.
Okay.
And with that, oh man, I just don't know if it's gonna be effective at short range. I have one. And I am... Do we know what kind of... If it was a blow dart, I guess it's almost like syringe sort of...
It'd be a syringe.
head to it. Yeah, syringe that would go through. Okay. Well, I'm going to try and stick Ophelia with it in this moment. And Ophelia is holding Juliet, but in this moment, Juliet is also holding Ekphelia.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to attempt to just like stick this into her neck.
Let's do I mean, I think it stands to reason that Ekphelia would resist that. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. No. I'm just trying to be very careful so that I don't auto kill a character. Okay.
Yeah.
So, would you please roll to avoid getting stuck with a ampule full of mystery chemical, Ekphelia?
Yes. So we're both rolling now?
I think we'll both roll. Juliet, what are you going to roll?
Right?
I'm going to do skirmish, yeah.
Sounds
Skirmish.
like skirmish, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to add a die for trust in me.
Oh, yeah.
I get +1 die against someone I've had an intimate relationship with.
Man.
Would my gunshot as an assist, can I give myself an extra stress to give an extra die?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Wait, that gunshot, it gives an extra die to this roll?
Because
he
I've added
wants,
stress.
He wants to assist, and
see.
I feel like he has been assisting, right? Like, so.
Oh, boy.
Do you feel
Sure.
that's
No.
okay, Ross?
I feel
That's
like
fine.
Ross should get
Okay.
something though for this long-term project, right? Like we mentioned.
Definitely.
I think there should be some balancing.
Yeah. Let's balance it out. Ross, why don't you have Ekphelia? Let's see. I'm gonna roll a fortune roll, and if it's successful, there's another factor that's gonna come into play. Okay.
Okay,
And
okay.
what is Ekphelia's attune?
It's 0.
It's 0. Okay. I'm gonna
No,
roll.
it's 1. It's 1.
It's 1. Okay. I'm gonna roll a fortune roll, and another factor will come into play if it's successful.
I'm also going to push myself when I see this happen.
Okay,
So,
okay.
yeah.
I think that there was a moment back.
Such a high roll.
I know.
I know.
I think there was a moment back at the grotto after our last score where Valkos made Juliet relive that like trauma and was crying through the desert. And when we got back to the grotto, like perhaps between the two of them, Juliet had these projectiles and had a crisis of faith
Whether
in
it's
this
gonna
moment
be
of
right or not, yeah.
I don't know if I can do this.
So, this is interesting. Just as Juliet is about to plunge in the ampule, the dart, the weird shade sort of kind of starts climbing out of Ekphelia and is just kind of creating more chaos. Like, Charlie, I'm scared. Like, just kind of buzzing around. Like, it becomes like almost like a crown of moths around Juliet's head. Like, that's how it manifests. And you can hear these voices, Juliet. So high weirdness is at play, which I think is going to give our friend... I think it's going to count as an assist, so you're going to get one more die, Ekphelia.
Okay.
Okay,
additional
so
push. Okay.
what
How
is
many,
our
I just want to
positions?
know how many die. How many die are you rolling, Juliet?
It's going to be skirmish +1 plus that and 5. I mean, I should push myself in this too. Well, no, based on the flash and what I've sort of the narrative I've built, I'm not pushing myself on this. I think I'm already trying really hard to even do this.
Okay, and my friend Ekphelia, how many die are you rolling?
With the push and the assist from my ghostly retainer here, weirdly manifesting as a crown around my temples, I get +2 for those, so it's a total of 4 dice I'm rolling.
So 4 versus 5.
Oh, fuck.
All right, here we go.
Let's do this.
So positions, I assume.
It doesn't really matter because it's
Doesn't
an
matter?
AVP. Yeah, just roll.
Great.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
I did it. Oh.
Okay.
Well,
Josephine's character. Josephine rolled a 4, 2, 1, 2, 2. But Ekphelia rolled a 3, 1, 1, 5.
5 is the highest result.
And so 5 wins. And so what does that mean, Ekphelia?
Yeah. What,
The ampule comes like right up to my wrist. There's no way you could miss. And just one of these moth-like spectral things diverts it for a second, and I'm like hanging. Both one hand is on you, one hand is on the wall, and it just diverts it for a moment. And I'm able to like twist your wrist somewhat, and with an inhuman force like of bicep power, it's like draw you up. It's like, don't I trust you? Don't I trust you? I trusted you, Juliet. I trusted you to love me. You didn't ask. When you pulled me back, when you put me into him, you just did it. You made me into this. You changed me. You made me better. I trusted you to care for me. And so now you can trust me to show you the same courtesy. And I'll pull you up and away if I can.
Well, I think that you can. She failed in her attack, and you've already spent the stress to be able to move superhumanly. Mm-hmm. So, and we never narrated that she got out of your arms. And so I think you leap up and over and onto the roof, and you have escaped the people pursuing you for right now.
I know this is strange, but can I just roll a resolve for myself to kind of see where Juliet's at? Because I think that she believes the words that you've said as well. Like, she has unleashed you and that she is at fault here.
Yeah, roll a resolve. So if she succeeds, what does that mean?
If she succeeds, I think she's still okay, but I would say if she fails, it's some sort of like mental harm.
Oh, okay, great. I agree.
I just like, honestly, this is such a high stakes, and we're dealing with like everything that she has done coming back as a consequence right now.
I think so. I agree. Yeah.
Okay. So 4.
A success with a consequence. A success with a consequence. So here's going to be the consequence. Your next attack against Ekphelia, and I'm making a note of this, is going to have reduced effect.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds right.
And Ekphelia, with Juliet in their arms, leaps up and over and onto the rooftop and out of sight. Tiff Taylor and Deming Fry come up alongside Valkos, armed to the teeth with weapons, and they watch as Ekphelia disappears from view. They look to you, Valkos, and they say, Where? Where could they have taken her?
And I'd look to the grey cloak, who is probably trying to fumble himself up, and go to the grey cloak, and I'm going to interrogate.
And he says, Khan, they're taking her to Selyak Khan. And that is where we will stop for today.
Yeah, baby.
Oh my God, Jared, how can you do this to us?
It's all happening now, folks.
It just feels like there's at least another hour of
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
of this whole story. So wow, you guys, go take a hot bath of Alkahest, unwind, and prepare yourself mentally and emotionally for next week. Until then, we have been Josephine, McAdam, Abu Salim, Ross Bryant. My name's Jared Logan, and we'll see you on Haunted City next week. Bye-bye.